Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday. My name is Ben.
My name's Tim.
And we are bringing it back for another episode of Tech Tuesday for the people. Answering questions for the people. It's Monday, but Tuesday for you, it's going great. We're rocking. We will jump into them, but before we do, Tim.
What's up?
Do you have any questions, quibbles, statements, fashion statement tips for the people?
Yeah. Plenty of things. If you're driving your race car, if you are riding a bike, if you're riding a motorcycle, if you're on your kayak, wear a helmet.
Wear a helmet when you're kayaking?
Dude, I mean, what are you, like lake kayak or something? I only know whitewater.
I was going to say.
I'm from West Virginia. We've got this big old bridge, and we got a river, and, you know.
I thought you did that with, like, whitewater rafting. I didn't know that there was a whole lot of
Kayaking?
Whitewater kayaking.
Oh, my God, dude. You have not lived.
I know some people have. Let me rephrase. I know it exists.
Up in the New River area I can refer you to take you on quite the adventure.
Here we go. We'll jump right into the questions. We'll start with Matt Noel 580. He says, another LS jackpot question. How do I get the 7-inch handheld to display miles per hour? It's currently just displays the low GPS signal. The kit I have came with a bag that has 2 modules that mention GPS, but no instructions on how to install them. The car will mainly be a track car, but will be driven around with the family from time to time, and knowing how fast I am going would be nice.
Sounds like you got a slightly older generation system. If you got some kind of a VSS input from your transmission, you can go in there and select what source it's from ECU, TCU, or GPS. Actually, I think it's like TCU is sensor and GPS. So you can just go into the monitor select and actually hit on the roundel, and it'll ask you like what speed source and from where.
Jeffakejr Jr.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
Good day, gentlemen. I have a kill shot 1 on my 1986 K10.
Nice.
Good choice. With the Gen 2, ECU is coming out soon. Can a kill shot 2 ECU that has increased RAM be used on a kill shot 1? Also, I just got my unit back from RMA, and I want to thank y'all. That's good job, RMA team, for the quick turnaround. Yes, I'm in charge of the RMA stuff, so, you know, you can blame it all on me. But for any of the glory and compliments, I'll refer that to the guys who actually stand there at 200-degree engines cranking on the throttle all day for you, the people. So we actually do live testing on our things. I'm kind of hoping I can convince the media guys that a little bit of behind the scenes and kind of just, go bother my guys for a day. Like, what are you doing? Why are you testing it? What's going on? Etc. And leave customer names out of it because some people are strange about that thing. It's there's a lot of cross-compatibility with Gen 1 and Gen 2 stuff. Some of the things are repinned, so you just got to be... If you're going to be using a Gen 1 harness for an upgrade, you can still use the Gen 1 throttle body as well and plug it in, and it'll do a lot of good stuff. Some of the pinning is different on the additional wiring harness, so you'd have to kind of pay attention you don't have something funny hooked up, but it's possible.
Yep. Steve Honeycutt, 1980. Also, what does backfire do to the kill shot?
Pops all the vacuum caps off sometimes. If you got a little explosion, a little lean pop in the old manifold there. Normally it ejecto seats the vacuum caps off there. My suggestion is you have that issue, zip tie them things just like you do in old school boosted stuff. Put a vacuum cap on, zip tie it with the small ones. Or safety wire if you're an aviation nerd like myself and you have a bunch of safety wire and a decent set of the yard store pliers laying around. Yeah, to each their own, I guess.
Sure.
But anywho, yeah, it doesn't do a lot. I've caught these things on fire before on purpose. I've done a lot of bad things to them on purpose, including making intake leaks and seeing how bad pre-combustion chamber explosions really affect things. So I've got a unit in the back there that's it still runs, but golly, I put it through it.
Facts.
I made all the internal parts, external parts at several thousand RPMs, and lots of fire and oils and things happened. It was great. Still kicking. Just looks real bad.
I think it's, it has character. Is probably the better way of saying.
Oh yeah,
It has character.
I love showing some of the things that I use for testing. Like I've the fusion stuff. I've still got a prototype that's like half of it's not even painted. The wires are questionable lengths and diameters and such, but I use them for just very specific testing. They still run and drive. I drove my Tahoe around on the prototype that was interesting for quite a long time, just to get all the heat and vibration, traffic jams, going over Jellicoe, all the beautiful things you'll see in the Tennessee countryside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Some of the best stuff about Tennessee is the mountainous views, the beautiful lush green forest, and state troopers everywhere.
Dano74Z says, "Hi guys, I live at high altitude, 5,280 feet, and routinely drive into the mountains."
Oh, dude,
Crazy.
Dano, I see what you did there.
For several years, I have been
He's
following.
a club member too.
That's crazy. I have been following Aces, but I have not seen or heard on how the Aces killshot performs at higher elevations. How frequently is the map sensor adjusting the injectors to compensate for altitude?
All the time.
Need to lean out the engine with altitude. Likewise, if the killshot is used for timing control, how is the timing curve being modified for altitude? Needs to advance timing at higher elevations. Thanks. Very true. Very true.
Well, kind of, yeah. 1,000 feet's a half a degree when it comes to elevation changes. Generally, 2,000 feet, half a degree. It's in that ballpark. But no, the map sensor is going to reference what the environment that the engine is. So if it's got enough atmosphere to pull a certain amount of vacuum, it's going to scale appropriately. You're just not going to get the same amount of, wide open throttle number instead of hitting especially at 5,280 feet. It's not going to get to 100 kPa. It's going to get to 78, 80, somewhere around there. So yeah, it'll fuel correctly. You'll probably have to tweak on the tune a little bit, and I would knock a little timing out of there, just depending on what you're doing. But yeah, it'll compensate altitude. It has an internal barometric pressure sensor that don't really do a whole bunch. It's there, but it's always going to fall redundant to the map sensor no matter what it does. So when the map sensor's reading, it's just taking that as a suggestion, not as scripture by any means. It says map sensor's doing this, fuel needs to do that, send it.
Yep. Facts. We've had a couple of guys recently send in stuff or images and pictures of their stuff in higher elevations, so maybe we can do our best to get that out on the official channels and showcase that a little bit. It does happen quite a bit.
Maybe I ought to take my Tahoe up Pikes Peak. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be interesting.
And Immortal Motors. Immortal Motors, 562. Weird product idea. Honestly, a bit of a niche application. But how you mentioned in your first question a possible standalone NOx sensor gave me an idea. With all your cool products, ideally, just buy the jackpot. But for those of us who wants to dip our toes, usually with the cheapest system, have a bridge controller that allows the ability to control multiple of your systems together and having all the information available in a single handheld. For example, Deuce's Wild with high roller and quick draw, very niche, but maybe you guys have a solution for this. A lot of extra wiring, probably more trouble than it would be worth for most folks. Essentially, a central CAN hub, or possibly more modular system that is easier to add more function to later. Few ideas, but in the end, I don't have to do the R&D. We see you guys every week. But for the guys in the R&D department, I definitely appreciate everything you guys do. Well, thank you. As the face of many things. Yeah, we can we can look into that CAN hub idea you got going on there. Why not? I like it. If you like it, I like it. If the people like
Agreed.
it, we love it.
Agreed.
But yeah. Hashtag add to email. No, that's okay.
Hashtag add to email.
No,
Brilliant.
I'd like to see everything jammed together and be real cool and work good too.
Absolutely.
I think it would be neat. I'd like to be able to import data from every system that's plugged into it. So it's like I want to see my EGT stuff, run my trans, run my Bluetooth thing, plug in my laptop, and run my high roller and run everything else all at the same time, and then be able to pull data as needed through the CAN hub. I like it. Good idea.
I think a lot of, companies that have a CAN network have a CAN hub. So I think it's not a bad idea anyway. But
we got David Daniel, 1980. Good day, you Aces Bad Mammoth Jammers.
I knew you were going to try to read that question.
I have a couple of questions. I didn't realize what it said until I started
No,
reading,
you
by the way.
did. Okay. All right.
I have a couple of questions. First question, B and I have a kill shot set up on my square body pickup. The debauchery, it all started with the module and the HEI distributor failed. Man, I hate that. The pickup ran good beforehand, but after the module got replaced, it was backfiring and would not rev to 1700 RPMs, but only sometimes it would run smoothly. So to add the second question in the middle of the first, I bought a PDM. Hopefully it'll clean up some wires and get some good power. I cannot find a good DIY video to cut apart or a good schematic to follow exactly of what to do with my harness. Can you help me out with what ideas possibly going on with my pickup and how it's running, and help with the PDM? I did make a PDM video on a Deuces Wild, which has a lot of the same harness, and I gutted the harness and explained a bunch of stuff. Hopefully that helps. That's on my personal channel, but funny enough, we may actually still like to do that with an older system because our current harnesses come pre-wired for the PDM. But honestly, if we run out of ideas of things to film around here, which is a bunch, we may dive back into that because there's still a lot of people with original systems, and we have a lot more people buying the PDMs and a lot more questions about the PDMs. So that'll be me sitting there with a razor blade and a pair of wire strippers sticking point A into point B and saying, this is why you put this here and what it is. For the thing is, on the HEI thing, make sure you've got the right coil negative selected in there because it could be reading some crazy false signal. I've had a module fail which absolutely smoked the input for my RPM, so it was reading all over the place, and it wasn't fueling correctly, so I couldn't rev past like 3,800 RPMs. It would just break up. Like a weird, inconsistent rev limiter, and that was because the HEI module killed itself and then damaged my ECU. But luckily, I keep a shoebox of testers in my truck.
It's actually true.
It's true.
I was not expecting it.
It's like an old school
it is
tape
true.
cassette holder, except for it's all just a bunch of different
everybody
versions.
has access to that, though.
Well, not everybody has a
shoebox
full of different variations of prototyped ECUs for different things.
Yes.
Floating around.
I'm sure if they knew you, you could probably hook. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, dude, I swapped one out at the gas station one time. Somebody, I was in there just straight up trying to buy a white Monster and a honey bun. You know what I mean? Just struggling. And I was like, man, that's so cool.
That's
I'm
not
like,
struggling.
Yeah.
That's literally peak. That's peak.
It's true. Well, what it is I had an ECU the same generation, and it was new, and I just straight swapped it because the engine build he had was one that very similar to the one I just got done tuning, and it was on an ECU, so I just swapped the dude out.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. If that's the case,
cool
then RMA probably, but I'll check that first.
You could do an RMA, and we'd run it up on the HEI setup here on our stand and hit the throttle, make sure we get some revs out of it. If you want to do that, you can call in, you can message, email, or what have you not, and just say, like, hey, I want to get this tested as per what they said on the Tech Tuesday because it is a strange issue with the thing. We can health check it, get it back out to you.
Yep.
We keep it pretty fair on that. So if you pay shipping here, we generally pay shipping back. Really depend. I mean, it's like 100 years old, obviously, but we'll test
We'll
that
still,
thing.
yeah.
We ain't gonna sweat you.
Nicholas Schollbrook.
Is
that correct?
Holbrook. Nicholas Holbrook.
Nicholas Holbrook.
5204.
5204. I have a kill shot system running a Ford DuroSpark. I'm in the market for a CDI system with two-step. Can I use the same handheld for controlling both the kill shot and the High Roller Pro, or will I have to run two handhelds?
No, you just select system.
Well, yeah, there's that. Actually, yes, that's going to be what you have to do. I was going to point him in the direction of like a Royal Flush, but that's exactly what you're going to have to do because you already have the kill shot.
Too.
Yep.
But if you already got a kill shot, just get the High Roller Pro, which was going to have that input for that.
Yep.
And you'll be able to
switch between them.
Hook up the thing. If you get it all dialed in, you just switch. You just go to System Select High Roller. You can't see them at the same time.
That's my Yep.
That'll be big future stuff.
Yeah. Or you end up, I'm not saying do this because you shouldn't ever sell systems secondhand. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that we don't cover warranty anymore after that point to the person that's buying the system. But, or you sell a kill shot system and then buy a Royal Flush and it's all in one already. So, just a thought. Just to throw that out there. Anyway. This is a short one for you. You can handle it. I think you can. You've read so far.
ScottsChaos. Question regarding the torque converter lockup wire. Does that have to have 12 volts DC all the time when the brake is pressed, or the other way around? If you push the brake, it should send a signal and unlock the torque converter so you can coast. That way your engine doesn't stay mechanically hooked to the transmission, doing some fun stuff. But you let off the brake, gets rid of signal, torque converter can lock back up if it's within the parameters to do so at that time. I don't like my torque converter to lock up in third gear as our system is set. I like it to do it in fourth gear, and I like to take the speed range and stretch it out just a smidge, because a lot of times, depending on your gear ratio, tire, trans, and such, you're going to run into, it'll kind of phase in and out of torque converter lockup if you're not careful, because you could be riding right on the edge of that, hey, that 55 miles an hour, this much throttle is right on the edge of locked up, locked, unlocked, locked up, locked, unlocked, kind of thing. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's phasing in and out. It's like, nah, just take that speed, move it down some, so when it gets to it, it locks up and does a good job, and gets below it, unlocks, does a good job. Common thing I see.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good.
I made a video about that on my personal channel, but it kept getting banned. Like, there's been a
really?
On my personal channel, there's a whole pile of my videos that's got, like, reported and banned and all kinds of stuff. So I just...
It was me. I reported them.
Yeah, probably.
No, we got a couple questions. It seems like you've responded to all of them, which is cool.
Did I?
But...
I did.
The funny little video I tried to make where I tried to catch you off guard, and then you were in an HR meeting.
I was actually in an HR meeting.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
You could not tell by the look
funny.
on Andrea's face when you walked around the corner, and she was like,
"Yeah,"
because I am exactly who you think I am.
Yeah. So I walked in, and you just go watch the video. It failed wonderfully. So anyway, it was good. But basically, all that to say, Tim, the documents that you've released some on the Facebook group are now on the website, and as more are quote unquote finalized, we will continue to update that. But you should definitely go check that out on our website if you're wanting to know definitions for things in the handheld. Like if you're really wanting to get into this, and you're like, man, I really am trying to uncover everything that I can about Aces fuel injection, go check those out 100%. But anyway, Ninjapumkin says, sorry, but about time. Thank you.
Yeah, that's facts.
It's true.
It's factual information. I've been pushing, and enough to the point that everybody's annoyed at me, like, we need to put this on there. We need to do this thing. Hey, we're doing up the documents. Hey, we're going to make a video about the documents. Documents. It's daily. I have to walk by his office on my way in. Lucky for him, I get here 30 minutes before he does. Otherwise, it's going to be like, hey, Ben, so what are we doing about videos today? But, no, it's a whole thing. These documents, I taken them from 70-page monsters that would be tough for people to read and turned them into a very comb through to the basics version of it. And then I'll start putting more advanced stuff in the next variations of it, because I kind of want to do supplements to each one. Like, if you're doing this, refer to this, or just if you already know, you can do it. You know, there's a lot of other great learning institutions for tuning, training, and such out there. And they, I see why they took that approach. Now that I'm writing this stuff, I'm like, I can write it all at once, or I can write a bunch of supplemental guides and just say, go check this out if you want to know more. If you're doing this and you don't have a good result, check into this, and it'll be another 15-page document, very, very dedicated to what that is.
Yep.
Whatever it is, the thing, the widget.
The widget. Slim Jim also says, I've been meaning to ask, are any of your EFI systems capable of running sequential fuel injection on an inline 6? And if so, can it control an E4 OD trans?
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's that stuff is both of those things is at some point on a horizon. Is it soon? Nah.
Yep.
No, we got a whole pile of other stuff. You'll probably see that, and you'll see a bunch of weird stuff like Ford related things, and then some UJZ stuff, what have you not, RB uselessness. Because those are super popular things, and we want to make sure to help the market out as much as possible, which is good for us and really good for you guys, because, you know, if you have a mid-90s Jeep Cherokee, apparently, if you got depending on the transmission, you can mount a 2JZ in a Jeep.
And we're ending there.
I really want that. I want that for everybody who's a Jeep enthusiast and likes turbo noises.
Would you drive a Jeep?
I used to drive a Jeep.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I had a really nice one. I bought it off a dude from work, and had a real nasty knock, and he had no clue that his flywheel was loose.
I've watched Jeeps wreck more than I have any other car, period, or break down in any other car, period. Especially
Really?
the Wrangler variant.
Oh, that's not really a Jeep. What?
We'll be right back. Dale Martinez, 6943.
I'm looking at comments on my phone.
Oh, boy. Dale Martinez says, I will probably get one of these, speaking about the Fusion, but I think starting with 0 peripherals, this would take all day. ...
No, it's really not that bad. When we did the fuel system on that, where we just had to run a return line, we dropped the tank. I think it took us like 20-something minutes to sump all the fuel out of there. Took a couple straps off, dropped the thing in, looked at it, like, all right, we're going to put a thing here. So we put one of those bungs in it and crimped that thing in place, hooked up an AN line, put the thing right back into its location, ran it up front, ran a couple wires from the system. That wasn't a massive deal. It took me longer to jack up the car than it did to install the clamp-on bung for the O2 sensor. So if you're thinking about, we put that thing on in like 28 minutes or something like that, that's cool, because normally what hangs people up is like stuff like linkage geometry and getting the distributor in okay. But that's really a practice thing. Like, I could knock one of these out in a day. The most I've done in one day for fuel system, distributor, O2 sensor, full install, including basic road tuning, has been 2 full systems.
Yep. And
that was actually right after I started really doing the full-time variation Aces, because I was a consultant for quite a while, and they needed somebody to send stuff to and break. That was me. I was the breaker of things.
The Killshot Fusion's one of those systems that unless you know differently, because you see them come in, see the RMAs coming in, I've really not seen issues with at all. I've seen one handheld break, which we did on a video that we were filming.
I did that.
It's the only one that
I broke
I've ever
the first one of that, as a matter of fact.
I've ever seen break for the HD handheld.
Yeah.
And then second was just a firmware not taking in the ECU on the Fusion, which swapped it out and it was fine. So
Yeah.
that's legitimately the only thing I've ever seen with that system.
Since the Fusion has been out, we haven't even had, I don't know, hundreds of them have gone out the door at this point. Maybe a lot more than that. I don't know the volume of outgoing stuff. I only know the volume of income. I know in great detail everything that comes into this building. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, if you ever want to report on that, let me know. I'm happy to share. I love my metrics. No, but we're talking about like a literal handful of these things. Like I could set them all on my desk and I could still have my lunch. It's not a very large volume of things. And it's normally weird stuff like 2 of them was because the positive and negative went to the wrong side of the battery. We had a third one of those. We did that in-house. You know who you are, and you know who did it. He watches this. So he knows exactly. He knows.
Oh,
but
man.
anyways,
yeah, it's
that's
true.
one
There's
way to
really
let the
it.
magic smoke out right there. A few other things was some melted harness stuff, shorted a bunch of things out. And one dude like somehow bricked the firmware in a very peculiar way, and I still don't quite understand how that happened. I've been trying to recreate that on some older systems, but it was amazing.
Yep.
That's, I mean, a literal handful of these things out of, we're talking like 0.002% of, and it's not like they were broken. They got broken.
Yep.
So it's even better because normally if you have a system that goes out, there's usually quite a few people that do a bad install or they have a shop do a bad install or something like that, or they hooked a bunch of wires up and just smoke it, and then they read the instructions that they shouldn't have done it, and then they come back and we got an RMA going on. That happens. I mean, it's just a reality of just doing hot rod stuff. If you're kind of new to it, it's just mistakes that happen. Not a big deal. But yeah, the ease of install has helped people not break this unit because it's just a handful of wires. We didn't offer too many things to hook up in funny spots.
True. Very true. Speaking of reading the instructions, Ezra Dixon says, just got my instruction book for the Jackpot 2 days ago. Just finished rereading it tonight. Starting install next week.
Nice.
Keep us posted. Send us pictures.
Check out the basic tuning stuff.
That's,
there's books on the website.
Yep.
Made a video.
Oh, I missed one here.
Hey, thanks for getting me out of that HR meeting, by the way.
Oh, man. It was really embarrassing, but it is what it is. I literally walked in there so confident.
And you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was actually a very important meeting. Anyway, anyway.
Yeah.
After you, sir.
All right. Kobe Brown. 95-97. Hey, I hope this question makes it through. It has. I have a 92K 1500, and I'd like your opinion on if putting Aces on this tired 350 is best, or is swapping it. Is LS swapping and putting Aces on there good too? A note that the goal is to make a specific 800-mile trip.
Nice.
Ever so often. Reliability is an important factor. Thank you for the awesome Tech Tuesdays. Swap it. Oh, my God. LS swapping's easy. I have an 89 K2500 I put an LS in. And then my 6.5 turbo diesel, that thing was tired. I put an LS in that. And I got a Colorado put an LS in that. And they make swap kits for every one of these things. Yep. Just appropriate adapters, couple $100, a little bit of tricky radiator stuff, and you're in.
Yep. Yeah, especially if the 350 is quote unquote tired, and it's old.
Well, it's an old 350. They have a habit of eating themselves over time. I've built quite a few good ones. They're still out there doing their thing. Yeah. But it's a very durable engine. So, but yeah, if you got a decent LS swap going on, freshen it up, something like that. Fresh gaskets, don't forget to do that. Don't get the rear seal for the cover. Get the whole cover with the seal in it. You're going to save yourself a headache and a half, I'll tell you that. And go ahead and get it ready for a boost. Gap the rings appropriately. Build the thing.
Or not, but
some 799s and some flat tops on there.
Okay. I hope that no dirt was tracked into your carpet by Dimitri. He says this. I am getting close to pulling the pin on buying one of your products for for my Australian DC LTD. It runs fine. I just love what you guys are doing, letting anyone learn to tune with systems cheaper than dongle licenses and credits needed to use HP tuners or PCM Tech on a stock ECU.
PCM Tech, old school.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. He said the whole thing right there. I don't know if you cats out there have used HP tuners, but a lot of people are very confident. They pay the several $100s to get the thing. They log into their Camaro or their old cat-eye Silverado, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to tune this thing. And then they realized, oof, there's numbers, and a lot of them.
Yep.
Luckily, they do put good descriptions in there, but there are literal companies. A friend of mine, Bob, actually runs one down in Florida, the tuning school, for real big focus on the HP tuner stuff. But we're trying to offer as good of information for our systems for people.
Yep.
I mean, we're not as good as those cats, but I'm trying to get it all out there.
Yep.
For the people.
For the people. Interrupting HR meetings for the people.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's real.
It's all.
No. No.
Yeah. Why does the HR lady look stressed in Tim's office?
Because it was an actual meeting. DonDotterer says, awesome, thanks for the hard work. And finally, Reef Keep 2 on the PDM says, what gauge wire is typically used for the main battery feed?
That's a good one. 8 to 10. 8 to 10 on that ought to do you good for a long time.
Yeah.
You can feed it with 10. You can feed it with 8. Whichever you like.
Yep.
We left plenty of area for terminal on that. The really does terminals are actually, so if you get the spade connector for the 8 gauge wire, it should fit in there real nice. But I'm powering one right now with 10s, and I haven't had no issues. Resistance and voltage and temperature things.
Yep. I got 2 more questions here
Lay it on.
that I missed. Stephen Honeycutt, 1980. Hello, is the 307 electric HEI the same as a lockout distributor having trouble? Wait. Yeah. Same.
Where's this question at?
Hello, is a 30...
All right. Hello, is a 307 electric HEI the same as a locked out distributor having trouble with temp getting a 225, turn the engine off diesel? Yeah, timing's a bit off. Fuel's a bit off too. Is a kill shot and my timing in the IX be done to go down to 20%? I'm running HEI with an advanced distributor. HEI is fine. I would just make sure your timing is correct. And also, weirdly enough, you may have the vacuum port on the wrong port.
Yep.
That HEI, if it's vacuum advanced, you need to put it on the not manifold vacuum port, but the ported vacuum port.
Oh, you're asking me. I thought you were just being ridiculous. I was like, yes.
Would I ever be ridiculous, Benjamin?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yes.
No, it's good. I've been reading a lot of them. You read this last one. We can.
Wait, didn't you ride in a vehicle with me across the country once? Or was that somebody else?
That was Josh.
That was Josh. Who else was there?
Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
I drove it back.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, if you're hauling your truck and trailer across the United States to go to a SEMA event, there is a jump you will hit on, I think, 40, wasn't it?
I don't remember. Something going out west.
I'm going this direction, and I hit it. The front wheels of the truck come up off the ground, and about the time he is driving and tells me, hey, yeah, we're here. And I said, oh, hey, around that section of the interstate, there's this gnarly bridge where you'll lift the front of the truck up off the ground if you don't notice it. Boom. I mean, on that same phone conversation.
It was great.
Yeah.
I think I said something along the lines.
He
found
did.
it.
Yeah. It was rough because it was.
We got it. Hey, just be careful. There's a.
Whoomp.
Yep.
It is literally front of that truck come up.
Yep.
That's why the bottom of the trailer hitch is polished.
Yikes. Is that really the reason why?
Yeah.
We didn't hit it that hard coming back.
It.
Now going there, I have no idea what happened. Anyway.
party was awesome.
Yeah. You read this last one.
Which one?
At the top here.
Oh, KarKamp.
KarKamp.
I just want to say thanks for everything you guys are doing for the people and the industry as a whole. You're welcome.
Happy to.
Yeah. I've just bought a jackpot and a kill shot, both from my OBS pickups. After a year plus on the jackpot without issue, I did an engine in and out and acquired an issue with the ECU. And from the customer service team to the tech and RD department, we're all nice, accommodating, and helpful. I got my ECU back and burnt the crank harness to the freaking exhaust bad and messed up the ECU handheld again. All of my fault, and completely, again, the entire Aces crew stepped up and did right by me above board when they could have told me to kick rocks. And for that, my hat's off to you all, guys and gal. Thank you.
Dude, thanks. Wow, what a way to end the show.
But we really do try here.
Yeah.
We try to be accommodating and flexible and do the best we can for the people because, we could turn this into a money generator real easy, but we'd rather pursue the passion and do the right thing for the industry because we would rather get the ends over and above by being over and above.
Yeah, we've had to do a lot more corporate-y junk recently as we've grown. But for real, though, that is boiled down what Aces fuel injection is. Very down to earth. I would hope. Especially if any of you guys came through the door and, saw what it's like. It is exactly that. Minus a few expansion packages, DLCs recently. Minus that. And I hope it continues to stay that way. But, Carl, thank you so much for that. That was very encouraging. So, okay. Well, that's it. That wraps up this episode of Tech Tuesday. Tim, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Joining me, rather, here.
I'm terribly sore from racing all weekend. My body
poor
hurts.
lad.
I did not sleep last night.
And yet he's here.
Hey, we made it. We're here. I'm testing stuff, doing things. And let me tell you, there's a neat thing I'm testing. I'm so excited about it, I can't even tell you. But it's going to, it'll make the people happy.
One of these days, you're going to have to bring back letting out the secrets here at Aces Fuel Injection on Tech Tuesday, because I feel like this is the spot for it. We always let out the secret sauce
I thought about doing it on my personal account. It's like, I'm not even hiding it. Yeah, I got like 4 different Facebook pages or whatever, but there is one that I post with. But
just stay on the lookout for, like, if we're ever shooting a video and there's stuff, like, in the background, things like that. That tends to happen a lot, so just keep an eye out. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like down below. If you have any questions about Aces Fuel Injection or EFI in general, feel free to leave a comment down below as well. We'll do our best to get to it in the next Tech Tuesday video. Or if you know anybody thinking about switching to fuel injection, send them our way. We'll do our best to help them out in any way we can. But again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see all of you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye now.